time for one or two more questions. We've got two in the back.
Hi there, this question is for Gord. You mentioned that at Bayer, you guys had implemented the summer hours program.
Right.
Could you confirm, is that paid or unpaid days?
It's paid.
It is paid.
So people have an opportunity to take either every half day Friday or every second Friday off. And there's flexibility. Some people will take a Monday or that type of thing. And we run that from May long weekend till the Labor Day, September long weekend.
Okay. Thank you.
There was one more question.
Do you mind if I pass this to you? Sure. There, thank you.
Hi, I have a lot of dealings with both Gen X and Gen Y folks, and I guess it's the Gen Y ones that I find interesting, because when you talk about working in a company, they sort of turn green and say, why would you ever want to do that? What has been your experience, and what thoughts do you have on making the workplace appealing, or even having them think about working in a corporate environment?
Well, I'd say for us, one of the things, the lounge is probably more the Gen Ys that are there playing Wii and billiards and those kinds of things. They take more access to those kinds of things that we offer in the workplace. The outdoor courts that we have. I'd say they're in general. As much as we have different generations in our workplace, there is a lot of things in common that all of the generations are interested. So we don't try to necessarily put people in a box and say this is the way they are. We're basically trying to listen to all segments of the population. When we do surveys, we can cut the data lots of different ways to see whether there are unique interests with different groups. So we don't have anything entirely focused. We're just listening to feedback and implementing that feedback. And let's say the lounge, that was an idea that came up, and I'm sure it was probably a Gen Y or a Gen X that said, I'd like to have some kind of area where I can just go play, right? During the day, when I feel like I need a break or whatever. So, and we just implemented it.
I think for us, it's engaging that group. I know that there's a sense of entitlement and a bunch of different characteristics that they've used to sort of pigeonhole Generation Y into a group. And I think that if you engage people and have them feel like while they're not working for someone else's, or while they're not going to start their own business because they might not be ready to or have the confidence to or what have you, how can you engage them to feel like what they're a part of, they've got some ownership in, and that they feel like they're contributing and making a difference in? So I think most things we do, kind of like your union issue, I think if you can engage the union and get them to passionately share what it is they recommend to the CEO, maybe even film it, for example, and post it on YouTube and send it to them and say, hey, here's what your people passionately feel about your business. Engage them, because they probably have all the answers. It's rarely the leader.
Yeah. The last thing you can ever do for Gen Y is say, do this because I said so.
2 and 7-year-olds at home.
Yeah, I've got the mic. Thank you. I've got a question to Brian. You mentioned that there is a lot of talent in this economy, and you also mentioned that there are certain employees in your company, and I guess that happens in every company, who probably have lost value to the company. So therefore, if you were given a choice to refurbish your human capital by tapping into that immense talent that's just out there in the job market, or develop the employees that have lost temporarily, permanently, with no value in the company, which avenue would you go? Thank you.
Yeah, clearly new talent. If they've really lost it, it depends to what degree. But if somebody's really checked out and shouldn't be there any longer, then we get them out quickly. And but don't get me wrong, we'll take time to work with people and develop them. But I think that, like the story with the Macintosh prototype, if they didn't have that fire and their eyes weren't sparkling to begin with, that's usually the biggest problem. So I'm a big believer in getting new talent, bringing them in, and people that are already excited about your vision and your values.
Thank you. I just wanted, do we have, okay.
You've spoken about benefits that you've kept, and I know that one benefit that was cut out was the concierge service, but have there been other benefits that you've also cut?
We haven't cut any.
No, that's the only one we've cut so far.
We cut the 5-day carryover vacation, so is that really a cut? I went over positively, so.
We've cut a lot of travel. We've cut a lot of travel.
we've
So,
cut travel,
you know,
too.
if we can do training by video conference or same time or whatever, people are less likely to travel to get it, but we haven't cut the training.
Our sales actually increased in the fourth quarter when we cut travel, and it really made us think about, you know, why was that? Maybe people had more time directly with customers, et cetera, not as many internal meetings, and so it's actually made us more reflective that, you know, even when we get out of this sort of economic time that we're in, that we're really going to you know, rethink about, do we need to do all those things we used to do before, and we thought were sort of standard, because it was just very interesting. Our sales went up, but yet, you know, we had reduced our face-to-face time, you know, at least internally, you know, and you know, going over to Germany and things like that, which had a positive impact for some reason. So we'll see if that carries through, you know, as the next few quarters kind of go through. So
We haven't cut a single person or a single benefit. Now, profits are down, but we're committed to making it through the recession without losing people. And I think, though, at the same time, that we're keeping people looped in. Every single month we have an alignment forum, it's called, and we get together, entire companies share every single piece of information, profits, expenses, and so on, openly in a very transparent way to say, hey, we're all a part of the problem here. And so our profit sharing program, which still exists, might not exist at the end of the year if we don't make some changes, but at least people have been openly communicated with on a regular basis.
I want to thank everybody for having so many fantastic questions today. That was great. And I also want to thank, of course, our panel. We have Brian, we have Karen, we have Gord. They've done a fantastic job answering so many questions that I have had and you've had as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I, too, would like to thank the panel as well for participating today. One of the challenges we have when we open our office up to these type of events is our teams sits at the back, and I think for the last hour they've been taking notes, so I think sabbaticals, 5-week holidays are going to be on the next employee list. Thanks a lot, guys. We think we have a strong culture, but you brought up some new ideas that the staff, I'm sure, will go forward on. But we have a few parting gifts for your participation, and again, thank you very much for taking your time and sharing with everyone here your thoughts on the current environment in the HR world. Okay. As someone once told me, the problem in most companies, too many of them are being run by accountants these days and not enough by HR people. So anyway, thank you very much, and again, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Take care.
Great job, guys.
Okay, that was fun, yeah, good job.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you both.
Yeah.